Philippe Clement is blaming finances, Jack Butland is blaming tactics, and Uefa are blaming Rangers as they set to crack down on the pyro from last night's Europa League game. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and it looks like Rangers could be in trouble, facing a potential fine and maybe even a partial stadium ban following their Europa League clash with Lyon. Obviously, there was pyrotechnics, there was fireworks set off in the game. It actually led to the match being stopped momentarily for like a minute or two. And now there's a good chance that UEFA are going to act on this. They've done it in the past, and it looks like Rangers could have a partial stadium closure for the next two games. Servette were heavily punished for a similar incident during their Conference League playoff against Chelsea earlier this season. A partial stadium closure was put in place after their supporters let off fireworks and flares, as well as a financial sanction. Eintracht Frankfurt and Galatasaray have also faced stadium bans related to pyrotechnics. So, if UEFA are consistent, this looks like Rangers are going to get a fine and some form of stadium ban, and it might be the Copeland Road stand being closed, because if that's where the fireworks came from. So, not good. Obviously, a 4-1 defeat against Lyon is bad enough, but then you factor in potential stadium closures, you factor in fines and bans from UEFA, and it just makes a bad night even worse. I don't know why these fans do that when they know that UEFA will crack down. I mean, it's not rocket science to understand that by doing that you're hurting the club that you claim to support. So it makes no sense to me. Honestly, I don't know why people do it. I mean, fucking grow the hell up. It's insane. Anyway, Philippe Clement, he has come out and he has blamed the financial gulf between Rangers and Lyon for the defeat. He talked about how they spent a lot more money. They talked about how they have more finances. And that's what happens when you come up against teams with more money and more quality. He went on a big rant, but you know what? I'm not going to read it all out. We'll just get to the part where he talks about the budget. So he said, quote, "We are all convinced that this was a good way to approach the game. There was not one of those goals. We had less players than they had attacking. But they have individual qualities to kill off the job, and we are working on that. You know, against opponents with a much bigger budget that you need to dig in. You need to have a few players who rise above their level and make the difference in the offensive part and defensive part, probably in both, to get the big results. But I think the really positive thing is the football that the players brought yesterday. Of course, we still need to improve a lot of other things." End of quote. He also talked about just the gulf in finances. He spoke about how Rangers don't have 160 million that obviously Lyon have to spend. And I'm sick of this rhetoric, man. When are these managers just going to come out and stop blaming other shit but themselves? Like, Rangers just weren't good enough. Lyon were great on the night. Lyon won 4-1. Lyon deserved to win. I don't know why he can't accept that. Clement has spoke about shots and stats and how it was an even game. I mean, it wasn't an even game. You can have the same amount of shots as someone. It doesn't make it an even game. It doesn't mean the shots are coming from the same sort of areas. It doesn't mean the chances that the shots are coming from are equally as good in terms of goal scoring opportunities. I don't know why Clement can't understand this. Well, he can understand it, but again, it's just excuses, man. It's just him. Why can't he just hold his hands up and go, yeah, you know what? Lyon were really good last night. We got beat. We'll try and be better next time. I don't know why he has to try and justify it with stats and statistics. It was the same thing against Celtic. Anyone who watched that 3-0 game last month could clearly see that Celtic were the better team and that they dominated and that they won easy. But Clement came out after the match and he tried to suggest that the stats made it an equal game and it was level and there was nothing between the teams. There was a lot between the teams. Celtic had quality and Rangers basically disappeared after 10 minutes. So I don't get it. He's doing it again here with the whole, we had 16 shots to their 15, it was equal, and then he throws in the money stuff. He wants to blame the defeat on the money. It's funny because when Rangers or Celtic, when they win in the league, when they win convincingly, I don't hear the managers coming out. I don't hear Clement or Rodgers coming out and going, well, you know what? There was nothing in that game, but we only won it because we spend more money. They never do that. Wait, did Clement come out against Hibernian and go, you know what? We only won this game because we've got money to spend on quality players and Lawrence can produce a quality moment. No, he didn't say that. He basically said, oh, we dug in and we got a hard-fought victory. It's only in Europe where they use this money, financial gulf between the teams, and they use it as an excuse. You never hear them using it in the league. It's embarrassing, man. These excuses need to go. It's just not a good look. And I think we've seen a lot of excuses now coming from Philippe Clement. When he first came in, obviously got off to a really good start, so we didn't hear much of this. But now that things aren't going his way, and he is under big pressure, it feels like every time Rangers don't win a game, he's always having to try and justify it, whether it be money, whether it be, well, we had more shots or whatever. And it's like, sometimes you're just not good enough, man. Accept it, improve, and get better for the next one. But anyway, some guy that is accepting that Rangers weren't good enough was Jack Butland. He spoke to TNT Sports after the game, and he kind of contradicted what Clement said, and there's been a few fans on Twitter reacting to this. Anyway, it kind of reminded me of McGregor, Rodgers, because Rodgers came out and says he's no regrets and he's not going to change the style that he, takes in these big Champions League games, whereas Callum McGregor came out and hinted at the fact that Celtic do need to change the way they play. So I don't know if there's a bit of friction between those two, and maybe there's a bit of friction here between Butland and the manager. But you know what? People can say this is undermining the manager. I think it's good that players can come out and actually speak their mind. I remember Dujon Sterling last season came out during a game, and I think Clement said, oh, they were unlucky or something like that, and Sterling basically came out and said they were shit. And I think that's what you want. You want honesty. You don't want someone that's just going to, spread whatever narrative the manager is spreading, especially if the manager's talking shite. Anyway, that's what Butland said. He said, quote, they've got some serious individual quality. The disappointment for us is that we gave them too many easy opportunities for them to showcase that. It's one of those where you wish you could do it again, because I think we'd have, I hate to say it, but I think there would be a different approach that we needed, or that wasn't enough quite from us in those moments to cut out the attack, make a foul, stop them getting in their stride. The disappointment is the fact that we gave them some easy opportunities to showcase some serious individual talent. In that sense, it looks worse on us than it is, but we probably caused our own issues. End of quote. So Butland basically saying, we have to change, we have to play differently, we caused our own problems, whereas Clement is kind of sticking by, well, we had the same amount of shots, and in the end, the only difference was that Lyon have got a lot more money than we do. So it looks like both manager and goalkeeper not fully agreeing with how it went down. But yeah, I just want to see the excuses from Clement stop, man. They're beginning to get embarrassing. You don't have to come out and mention stats every single game. I mean, look at when Rangers lost 3-0 to Celtic. I mean, what Rangers fan literally wants to hear that? You lose 3-0 and they want to hear, well, we had 4 shots, or the XG was this, the XG was that. Nobody wants to hear that. They've just watched their team get slaughtered again. Another thumping. And this guy's making statistic excuses. It's bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. Anyway, guys, that is it. I think UEFA will come down on Rangers, and it's going to be either a fine, some sort of stadium ban, or potentially both. I mean, they've done it in recent past here with teams in UEFA that have done the same thing that Rangers done last night, so I can't see why there'll be an exception. I can't see why Rangers will not, face some sort of punishment here from UEFA. And it's just the last thing that the club needs. It's, dumb. Very dumb. Anyway, guys, that's it. Fog Football. Catch you in the next one. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Peace.